How's it going, Jack Attackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be doing my continuation of the Disney Rank series where I take an era of Disney animated films and rank them from the worst to the best. Today we're talking about the Silver Age, and believe it or not, this is actually one of the best ages of Disney films out there. I mean, it's not the best because I think we all know which one is. Renaissance. But this is still one of the better ages of Disney animated films. It really is. I mean, they just kind of dropped classic after classic after classic with this era. And I mean, I know there's probably a movie in here or two that some people don't really enjoy that much, but truth be told, I actually like all of these movies I'm about to talk about. So just keep that in mind if I happen to rank, which I'm going to rank one of your favorites at the bottom of this list. I already know my bottom pick is going to be super controversial. So, well, yeah, I mean, let's just get into it. My least favorite Silver Age movie is Cinderella. I know. Now, this surprised me, actually, that this is my least favorite Silver Age film, because I had a lot of nostalgia for it back in the day. But upon rewatch, it is very boring. I mean, at least the first half of the movie is very boring. It starts to pick back up in the second half. There's some genuinely magical and iconic moments in this film and some beautiful animation. However, the beginning portions with the mice and the cats, Gus, I liked Gus as a kid, but he's annoying and stupid, and I don't like him anymore. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's just, there's some boring stuff in this movie, and it really just wasn't super thrilling, which is a shame because there is good stuff in here, but like if I had to pick a Silver Age movie to watch, it's not going to be this one. I'm sorry, it's going to be at the bottom. And I know a lot of people expected me to rank Sword in the Stone at the bottom of this list, but no, because that is my, I guess, second least favorite, because at number 7, we have Sword in the Stone. Now, I like this movie probably more than most people do. However, yes, it is a very odd direction to take a King Arthur movie. Now, King Arthur, I feel like you could do a lot of things with. I feel like, you can make it a knight movie. Movie about knights. But no, it's not about that really. It's about, kind of like a King Arthur origin story. And you have Merlin basically changing Arthur into different animals. Now, the only scene that's kind of funny in this movie is the scene with the squirrels. You got the female squirrels kind of hitting on Arthur because he's also a squirrel, and that's hilarious. I'm sorry, it just is. Also, there's this scene with the wolf where he gets his head bonked by something, and he makes like a Tom and Jerry sound effect. He's like, yahoo! Hilarious stuff. I'm sorry, it just is. And I actually like the ending of this movie, or at least the final climax with Merlin fighting Madame Mim. Now, Madame Mim isn't introduced until the end of the film, so that is a problem, but she's a pretty decent villain and kind of kooky, and I enjoy her character. And the final scene with them, Merlin and Madame Mim fighting, and then they start changing into different animals, that's actually pretty clever and entertaining, and I really enjoyed that scene. So I'd rather watch this movie over Cinderella. I still don't think this movie's fantastic. I do think there are definitely some boring moments in it, but overall, it's not that bad of a movie, to be honest. Anyway, at number 6, I have Lady and the Tramp. Now, this one also surprised me that I put this one this low, because I actually had a lot of nostalgia for it as well growing up, and I still think it's a perfectly fine movie, but yeah, it's definitely not that interesting. It's definitely a romance movie as well. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of romance elements in a lot of Disney movies, but this one's definitely, heavy-handed, I guess you could say, because I just don't find the romance that interesting. It's charming at moments, especially with the spaghetti scene. I mean, that's an iconic piece of film history, an iconic piece of Disney history, and I love that scene. It's beautiful, and the music and all that, and whatever. And I will say there's some fantastic animation in this movie as well, but the overall story, it's not super exciting and interesting. It's just perfectly fine, and that's why Lady and the Tramp's ranked at number 6. But at number 5, I have Sleeping Beauty. Now, Sleeping Beauty is without a doubt better than Cinderella, which is also weird in my opinion because for the longest time, I thought Sleeping Beauty was kind of boring, and I thought Cinderella was definitely better than Sleeping Beauty. No, Sleeping Beauty is without a doubt better than Cinderella. First of all, you have Maleficent. She's a great antagonist. Also, you have Once Upon a Dream, which is a super underrated Disney song in my opinion. I really like that. And then you have Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. They are great little side characters and are quite funny throughout the movie. I really enjoy them, and I like how they keep trying to change the dress from blue to pink. I know there's like a whole debate on which color that should be for Sleeping Beauty, for Aurora rather. it should be pink because Cinderella's dress is already blue, but whatever. And I like how they continue that gag until the very end of the movie. Like the last scene of the movie is them continuing to change the dress from blue to pink. It's a cute little thing. I really liked that. I really love the ending, and yeah, it's a good movie. I mean, yeah. Anyway, at number 4, I have 101 Dalmatians. Now, I really enjoy this movie. It's pretty solid. I will say my main complaint is kind of a weird one, but the fact that there is way too much barking in this movie. Now I know it's a movie about dogs, 101 Dalmatians. There should be barking in it, but there's like a really weird part of the movie where Pongo has to spread the word that his kids are basically kidnapped, and he has to bark to the other dogs in like the neighborhood basically and spread the word. And that scene goes on for like way too long in my opinion. And the barking is just, I mean, it's just like, shut up. I mean, bro, it's a really kind of minor complaint, I guess you could say, because the rest of the movie's perfectly fine. And Cruella de Vil, I mean, she's one of the best Disney villains ever. And it just, overall, this movie has some really cute moments and good characters. I like the character of Pongo. I like the character of Roger. You have really good protagonists that you're rooting for. It's exciting and kind of like an escape movie towards the second half. And yeah, it's very thrilling at moments, and it's just really good overall. But yeah, I will say that barking scene where Pongo's relaying the information to the other dogs to alert, the neighborhood that his kids are basically stolen, that is way too long and just kind of unnecessary in my opinion. But whatever. Some might think that's a minor complaint. But anyway, at number 3, I have Alice in Wonderland. Now, I really like Alice in Wonderland because it's a fairly unique movie. It's very wacky and very enchanting, to be honest. I mean, I really fell in love with the world, and it's just super intriguing. You have the Queen of Hearts. She's a very funny and great villain as well. And I love the character of Alice. I love the Cheshire Cat. There's so many great little characters in this movie, and it's just very engaging overall. It's very wacky, and I kind of like, I don't know, there's been a lot of like metaphors for this movie, and it's just kind of trippy. And some people, we're all mad here. I mean, there's just something kind of like, not spooky about it, but there's just something kind of whimsical and wacky and like, we're crazy, like, I don't know. It's very interesting. And I really like this movie for that. And it's just, got great characters and a great story overall. So there you go. But at number 2, I have Peter Pan. And now this one I really enjoy. First of all, I love the themes of growing up in this movie. I mean, growing up is something I personally struggle with. And this movie, I really like how they kind of tackle it, and there's themes of it throughout the movie. And also you have Captain Hook, which, I mean, there are so many great villains in this era of Disney movies, but Captain Hook, I always forget how much I like him. He's just, first of all, his character design's fantastic. He's hilarious as well. There's some great slapstick in this movie with Captain Hook, and I think that honestly elevates the movie. And, it's a very magical film. When they get to Neverland, it's just like a very magical scene and an iconic moment in film history. And I really like it. The character of Peter Pan, he's great. Tinkerbell, I mean, she's sassy and awesome, and it's just hilarious. And it's just, it's a really good story overall. And, you want to live in Neverland. It's really awesome. And, also just Captain Hook. I can't stress that enough. I love Captain Hook. He's the GOAT. And really good movie from the Silver Age overall. But at number 1, another probably controversial pick, The Jungle Book. Now, I'm going to say this is purely out of nostalgia, but maybe not purely out of nostalgia, because I genuinely think this movie still holds up. And nostalgia aside, you cannot deny this movie has great songs, great characters, and great animation, honestly. And yeah, I just really think it's a really well done movie, and I love the characters. And again, I can't stress that enough either. You got Baloo, Bagheera, Shere Khan's a fantastic villain, Kaa the snake, he's awesome. It's just a really good movie, and I love that. I mean, the songs are just, come on, yeah, the songs are great. But yeah, I have to admit, I have some nostalgia for it, so maybe that's why I ranked it at number 1, but watching all these back to back, I kind of realized just how unique this movie is, and it really sticks out amongst the crowd for me. I mean, that might just be, again, my nostalgia talking, but nevertheless, I got to put this at number 1. And I'm sure some people will agree, but not everyone. So, of course, let me hear your ranking down in the comments below. How would you rank all 8 Silver Age Disney movies from the worst to the best? I'm sure we're going to have differing opinions because some people have a lot of nostalgia for certain movies, and a lot of people think this movie should be above this movie and whatever. But yeah, this is my opinion. I'm pretty confident on this list, but yeah, let me hear your thoughts. down in the comments below. And if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.